Five-Side Podcast. And we're back to a full complement. Everyone's here. Ross Dewar.
Hello.
Billy Kirkpatrick again.
Hello.
Craig Gregor.
Evening.
And Matthew Thompson.
Hello.
And that's our live studio audience. It's good to be here. And first,
oh jeez, okay. we have to get them ejected.
Can we get him ejected, please? First order of business. Shock news at the weekend. Was it the weekend? It was the weekend that Dunfermline won a game of football. Mm-hmm. I can't believe it. I can't get over it. Don't know what to say. I think that's their first league win of the season.
Yes, it was.
It is.
Can confirm.
Unreal. What a team.
What
a job Big Yogi's doing.
Surprising enough, when you appoint Yogi a manager that Ayr decided not to go for in 3 different occasions when they were looking for a new manager. The manager that all the fans actually probably tipped to be the next manager. Most of the fans wanted to be the next manager. But Ayr didn't even consider that option, obviously. Let's look at it come back to bite us this time.
Nah. He's not that good.
And Ayr
anyway,
form could do with as few teams winning as possible that are below them in the league.
Yeah.
So that
I thought I'd get that out of the way. Obviously, we had the news the other day of the passing of Celtic legend Bertie Auld. The last couple of weeks was lost two legends of Scottish football in such a short time apart from each other.
Yep.
And rightfully so. Before the Scotland-Denmark game, a minute's silence was observed by all the fans in the stadium to honour 2 great men. I think that'll do. Anyway, on to that, because that's all that's really happened since last time we were here. It was, the Scotland game. I know all the league games, but actually, you know what? We'll put Craig out his misery.
Nah, it didn't happen.
We'll get Ayr Partick out the way. How are you feeling, Craig? I know you weren't there because you were abroad, but
I was back in the country in time. I could have made the second half if I'd really wanted to. Surprising enough, no, I did not want to. It's the Jim Duffy train has just broken down. I don't know what else to say.
Repairs.
It's needing some serious repairs in January.
A replacement bus service.
Twice we've played Partick this season. Twice we've lost 4-0 against the Partick this season. It's not very good.
It's just your bogey team, though.
What about our teams we lose against? Can we just call everyone our bogey team?
The other bogey teams.
Bogey
team.
Yeah.
The only teams we've beat are
disappointing.
Dunfermline, Hamilton and Queen South, which are the only teams beneath us.
I don't know what you're talking
Sorry,
about.
Morton as well.
They're not bogey teams, so...
It's disappointing because obviously I think Ayr have been quite up and down since they appointed Duffy full time.
Not very up.
Well,
no, to be fair,
there was
Duffy
the first
Ball
few games they were doing well.
There's quite a lot up in second half performances, but we seem to be a goal or 2 down by the time we get into the second half performance, which isn't ideal.
No.
It's not looking good for the rest of the season, as Matt has already pointed out earlier. The fact there's an 11-point gap between 5th and 6th so far in the championship. We're only 14 games in, and a 10 team league, and there's an 11-point gap split in the top half and the bottom half.
But to be fair,
we're
top of that bottom half.
We are joint top of the bottom. We're 3 points off bottom.
I think we've only got ourselves to blame there, though. Yeah. Because we did say that the championship would be a very close league, top to bottom, this season.
Well, it is very close.
It's very close. There's just a gap between you. I mean, the relegation battle's
yeah,
close
but
and the promotion battle's
yeah,
close.
true.
But,
But if anyone out there likes a bet, Dunfermline are 100 to 1 to win the league. So
They're
set
not
your
going
money
to
on
win
that
the
because
league.
me and Craig are absolute visionaries, and we knew
we
that
did
they'd
we did
appoint
predict them to
Yogi,
start. To be fair, yeah,
and they're gonna bring it back, and they're gonna win the league.
I
I'm
yeah.
telling
predict
you.
Kilmarnock to win the league.
Yeah, grow up.
Um,
You're from here. You're not allowed to have anything to do with Kilmarnock.
Well, it was either Kilmarnock, between, for me, it was between Kilmarnock, Dunfermline, and Partick.
Nah, fuck
Well,
all three of them.
Inverness, did start the season really well. Now we're high flying, and then I think they've just kind of broken down a bit as well the past
Oh
couple of
well,
weeks.
they've beyond shat on the bed. They've shat all over the
Threw
room.
away they had a 5 point lead at some point at the top,
Yeah.
just a few weeks ago. But yeah, it's not looking good for
Not there anymore.
Inverness.
Inverness will get relegated, and Fairmont are going to win the league. Here first.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. On to last night. Don't know, it feels like it was so long ago. Scotland took on Denmark in our last World Cup qualifying group match. And a win or a draw would secure us a seeded spot, playoff spot for next year's playoffs.
Yeah,
And Craig was the only one out of all of us that thought we'd win. Everyone
always
else
fun to
was
bat the
sort of
boys.
a bit. Everyone else was a bit sort of unsure of how we do.
I didn't realise Denmark would only have half their decent players, to be fair.
Well, yeah,
Um,
they were listing some of the players that they had missing, and one of them's got diabetes or something, so he can't play football.
Um,
Yeah, apparently
believe,
he's recently diagnosed with something with diabetes.
I mean, Matt, I believe though that Denmark had 5 players out, but Scotland also had 5 players out.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to take anything away from us, by the way. I'm just making
Yeah.
excuses for past predictions.
But there was I did see a few salty Denmark fans in the timeline today going on about how many players they had out, and all the replies were just like, well,
In the timeline, Craig 100% went searching for it so he could inject into
I
his
was actually-
veins.
All those Danish people that Craig followed.
no, it was from all the Scottish
The official Lego account was like that.
yeah,
This is a joke. We had so many players missing, and
Was.
Scotland are acting like they've just won the World Cup.
an official Carlsberg account as well, but they're shite.
Yeah.
So
But fuck,
no one likes
fuck Carlsberg, fuck them.
Yeah, fuck Carlsberg.
Shite
Yep.
pint.
Lieutenants.
yeah.
Love Tenants. Yep, that's what it was. Carlsberg v Tenants.
It was and Tenants
Tenants came out.
as always.
Came out the blocks flying in the first half. Did Tenants?
Mm-hmm.
As the performance was just so good. I still can't go over how good it was from front to back. Like
What about middle? Was the middle good?
the middle was
it's-
exceptional as well. Actually,
It's probably one of the best Scotland performances that we've seen ever for our lifetime. Potentially, it was
and
that
that's
good.
and that was just Tony Ralston. So
yeah.
Happy birthday.
That what did they make? 5 minutes, 4 minutes?
actually, you're right, Matt. Yeah, happy birthday, Tony Ralston.
To be fair, you gotta give it to him. I thought he was about to Martin Waghorn it out the park, but he did keep it in somehow, and then
Because he's the
Took it to
best
the
right
corners.
back in the country.
But I think Steve
just
got his team selection spot on last night. I know there was obviously
good.
a question of where does he play the booking players, but I feel like the right decision was you have to play the players that are available there and face the consequences later if they do pick up bookings.
To be fair, he made the point in his pre-match interview. He did say that most of the players that were on bookings have been booked once in 9 games, so they really shouldn't be going out last night and getting booked.
Yeah,
And I think it played into our hands a bit that we dominated a lot of the ball.
Mhm.
So we weren't really having to give away free kicks and foul Denmark players very much because they didn't really spend an awful long time, especially in the first half. They didn't spend an awful long time attacking us and
Yeah, well, Steve Clark
playing
said
through midfield.
in his post-match press conference, he said it's very hard for players to get booked when you only commit 6 fouls
Yeah,
in a full 90-minute game of football.
Yeah.
So
we did. I think we did that really well. They didn't sit in because obviously they're a good side, but they defend well. Denmark do.
they do. Yeah,
And I think we did pretty well, just moving the ball side to side and just looking for little gaps to exploit. And I think we had 8 corners or something in the first half,
Yeah, there was a lot of corners.
like fairly early
the
on.
corners were coming a lot, and you just knew when we kept getting so many corners that you knew something was going to come up from.
Bet you
And
Casper.
our corner tactic was very, very clear what we were doing. Put it close to the keeper and crowd that 6-yard box.
Yeah. The referee was quite whistle happy from the corners though sometimes, but
There was a few that he. There was like a lot of Denmark players around Schmeichel, and he'd come to try and claim the ball and just fall into them.
I
And
think Casper Schmeichel just moaning at every opportunity. Got what he
I
deserves.
think
Yeah.
we're still cleaning the tears off the grass.
my favourite Kasper Schmeichel moment actually was when
You get booked.
it was when he got booked when the ball was going to get crossed in from the left-hand side, and it comes clearly off the Denmark player and out for a corner. And he turns to the linesman, and he does the
But if you
where's
you can't
your
see-
glasses? What the fuck's that?
He just no, he did
And,
the John Suter celebration.
He did. He was like, glasses, and then the ref. Because I thought the ref was just going to tell him off, but it was over, and he nice wee yellow card for him.
Get up.
Get up. I mean, he was being a whiny little bitch before then, and he calmed down after he got booked because he realised he couldn't whine anymore.
No. But some of our passing play and like passing out of the back from pressing, it was just phenomenal. I know that me and Matt did talk about the same incident earlier on, even though we didn't realise we were talking about the same incident.
I just hadn't watched the video you'd sent into the chat.
It was like if that had came to a goal, that would have been like probably one of the better goals I've seen live. Like
Come on, what one was that?
the one where it was just like I think it was like 5 patches about, and then Christie hoofed it up to Robertson, and Robertson tapped it across to Adams.
The one where Adam's shot was blocked, but he could have probably
He
scored
probably could
it.
have squared
He
it
should
to
have
Robertson. Yeah,
squared it.
it's a tough one.
totally.
Oh, yeah, that was nice.
He did have the opportunity for a shot. It's one of the ones you want your striker passing up to your fullback at that point.
I know I slagged Shea Adams' finishing, but I actually felt his hold-up play was class last night,
He's very
especially up
absolutely
against
phenomenal.
like big centre halves.
Yeah,
Everything about his game last night was so good,
It was very
and he did get a really nice chance fairly early on. I think it was before we made it 1-0,
yeah, it was. Yeah,
and it was a really good reaction save from Schmeichel. Maybe there wasn't really much more Che Adams could have done.
yeah. It's one of the ones you couldn't really get it across the goal because of the defender there.
yeah.
So you had to kind of go near post to goalie, get his foot down just in time.
Yeah. No, it was very good yesterday.
Yeah, obviously we were talking about the corners, and our first goal did come from a corner.
Good.
I thought at first it was a bit overcooked, but Liam Cooper did find himself. Well, he got himself unmarked at sort of back post just before the ball would have went out of play, and he nods it back into the centre. And John Suter is also pretty unmarked and just heads it home.
See, I was the same as you, but I think it was something they clearly worked on.
Yeah,
Well, like I said before, it was obvious our corner tactic was to just
had it back
pack that
post,
6-yard box.
But you could see we had a clear corner tactic against Israel as well, and it worked out. We got the goal in the end.
I know. So I'll let you. I was going to say, I know Bill has highlighted previously the work Austin McPhee's done, and
He did actually say on Friday. He said,
I did, and God, it's
We've got a clear set
sometimes
piece
my foresight is frightening. I think though, although it was a good performance, I still think we lacked a bit of clinicalness in the final third. I think that will naturally come with time, and I still think we, on one or two occasions, not as many as previous games, but we're still given possession away rather cheaply. So, not a perfect performance, but a good performance. Certainly a lot of positives to take in, but still one or two negatives for me.
I think you got to
clinicalness will work.
put it into perspective as well, like where we've came from and Denmark's quality.
I don't know how long ago was the Kazakhstan game now. How far have we come since
March 2019.
So, what,
2.5.
2.5 years, and since then we've qualified for the Euros, got a World Cup playoff, matched our World Cup qualification points record, got a home playoff at that. Sorry,
Yes, he did play off
6
as well.
wins in a row, 6 competitive wins in a row. Second seed now for the Euro 24 draw, which is massive. So
It's a lot better. I suppose I do agree with Bill that maybe we don't have the, again, if it's a word, clinicalness that we would probably look for. I don't think we have
That's
the
it.
strikers that have that, but I don't necessarily. I understand that's not a good thing, but I'm past the point of thinking that that's a serious hindrance
Yeah, I think
until we get to play bigger teams and where you're only going to get one chance, two chances a game. But the way that we're playing at the moment is we're creating multiple chances.
yeah we are. Like that's the thing. The amount of shots we had at the Euros, although we
Mhm.
only obviously scored one goal, but we created so many chances. Um, and our strikers that we've got, they're not goal scorers, but they are good at what they do, which does bring the likes of McGinn when everybody's playing and Christie into the game more, who probably will score more goals. McGinn especially, he was our top scorer this campaign. So
Mhm.
um, they just all seem to be clicking right now, and if they do start becoming more clinical, then I genuinely think they've got the belief right now where they could go and believe they could match anyone.
Yeah,
I
it
think
kind of
it,
annoys me now that we're not going to play again until March,
Yeah,
which is like such a long time away.
hopefully Billy Gilmore plays before March.
I
Did
think
see
I
it's
the
do.
one. I think it's one
I
of the.
can confirm that I cannot find the dictionary definition for clinicalness. Um,
We'll make it.
It's a
That's
new
the
word
title
today.
of the podcast sorted.
Yep.
I think you would just say. Oh, I don't. I don't even know what you'd say in that. I can't even remember what Billy said.
It's clinicality. That's what I'm going with.
Um,
If someone does know, please tweet us to give us the correct term.
Any
Okay,
English
we lack
teachers
gonna
the
keep
clinical edge in the final third. There we go, right? Is that
I'd,
better?
I'd say clinicalness if I was you.
don't say
Sorry.
clinicalness. Not a word. Um,
I think it's the first
oh,
time like we go into games actually somewhat confident in a long time instead of the usual. Oh, we're gonna just park the bus and try play for 1-0. We're actually like going at teams and playing
Yeah.
nice football and moving the ball around nicely. And
See if we do get that first goal. Like Steve Clark's teams are so good at just soaking up the pressure, and like although it was a nervy before we got the second, it was a nervy last 15-20 minutes the other day yesterday. Um, but we just always seem to be first there, first to clear it, first to. It was good.
it was brilliant.
Yeah, I agree. And even though it was a little bit nervy, I didn't really ever feel like we were going to concede.
No,
It actually would have been
there
against
was
the run
that.
of play considerably
Yeah,
as well.
not
The only one I can think of is the one in the. I think it was it second half
he's kind of
where
scuffed it a
Craig
bit.
Gordon
Yeah,
had to make the save, but it ended up being offside
yeah.
anyway.
It was a good
there,
save.
there was one that kind of scuffed a wee bit at one point.
Yeah,
Which kind
there
of
was the
goal
one that
passed
got
forward.
deflected by, was it Suter or Cooper? I can't remember.
I think
I don't
I
actually
think it
think
was
he's
both. I
coming.
think two.
Was it? And then it went just wide.
Yeah.
That was in the second half, I think.
There was some good blocks made. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Um,
just
Block the name.
defending well we had to. Like we came out in the second half and we were a bit under the cosh
Mm-hmm.
for the first sort of 15-20 minutes.
Yep.
And we just sat. Well, we didn't sit in, but we applied pressure in the right places and just like won a couple of sort of key free
yeah.
kicks,
You just
and then we're able to try and break out from them.
you could just
A
see
few of them just weren't the best, but
you could just see by the end of the game though how knackered like every player was, like how much
Yeah.
effort they'd put into that game to try and get that win, which was really good. Like there was no half-arsed
Aye.
efforts and anything.
well, Andy Robertson was quite clearly feeling it. But
Yeah.
I think that was a slightly tactical one.
Nah, Jurgen Klopp.
Well, because the defender was already stripped and ready to come on,
Yeah.
and he did sit down mid play and just go, nah, fuck this. And the ball was kicked out for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
Because I think we kicked the ball out and we ended up getting the ball back again from it, which
we
was
did,
Yeah. Quality of play.
good pattern.
yeah.
Mhm.
We had obviously we got the second goal late on. Armstrong did pass it left, and
He did.
we got a goal from it. If only that had happened.
I was having extreme flashbacks when he played that ball because I just thought that I think it was Sisto who was ended up being the deepest player.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a strange one for him to be.
I thought he'd have a lot more pace than Adams would at that point
Yeah.
in the game,
He was
and I just thought he was going to get it, and I was like, he's going to get that, and then we're going to do something stupid and concede
Yeah,
because it would be not anymore, but old style Scotland would be typical to do something like that, wouldn't it?
yeah. I
it
mean,
was a good finish.
it was a good finish.
I've got to say, I think I just said that in the group chat. I was like, Che Adams has been particularly good tonight, and I think we mentioned that maybe not his finishing hadn't been the best, and then about 2 minutes later he scored from
Yeah.
a very good finish.
It's easy to panic, I think, in those situations and just essentially blast the ball near the goalie.
Yeah, he takes a touch and it's like it
So
just comes nicely for him, and he can just put it round the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he uses his strength to get in front of the Denmark boy.
Mhm.
He takes a decent touch.
He used a bit of extra pace. He must have stored some for because he was
He
working
did
hard all
look
game,
absolutely knackered.
Mhm.
Yeah,
just used a bit of extra pace, and then the Denmark boy he couldn't do anything. He couldn't make a tackle really. He was running behind him, so he would have got himself sent off if he'd done anything.
but yeah, as Matt said as well, it was the last Scotland game till March now, which is it's tough when we're playing so well. It's obviously you want to keep.
Yes, no more international breaks.
I mean, you think about how
It's a very
many
love-hate relationship.
changes sometimes happen in those long breaks. Like obviously, I don't want the squad to change really at all. I'd play the playoff tomorrow.
Yeah,
No, the only thing that really would change would be if anyone's injured or if
Yeah,
hopefully
other players come back from injury and come into
yeah. Like
form and
obviously
stuff.
the
Maybe.
players that were missing.
hopefully some
The
of our
thing is,
starters get more game time.
Yeah. The thing is, like, how much longer can? I mean, don't get me wrong. Billy Gilmore's one of the first names on the team sheet, but it's really hard when he doesn't play football.
Yeah, well you could
Like,
see
I could see him getting recalled in January if he doesn't
something
start
to get
playing.
some game time because it's really. Don't get me wrong. Again, he'll get called up to the next squad, and I'm not going to complain about it. But if he's playing less than 10 minutes a game, if anything,
Just
the
for
next
fitness
squad,
wise, it really worries me.
Yeah, you could see
Well,
he
really,
was
like,
struggling to play
Matt
90 minutes. You could see he was really struggling with that. But yeah, like Sabella Gilmore, I don't apart from your big six, which even then you could probably argue for him to start in some of them. He started from pretty much every team in the Prem.
If only there was a Scottish team that needed a midfielder.
Yeah,
one that
but
told him.
maybe Steve will take him to Aston Villa.
Yeah.
That's fine. Break my
No,
heart.
I think I said on Friday that he could maybe go to the gym with John. He could go on loan to Aston Villa, and he could maybe go to the gym with John McGinn.
Or learn how to use his
Work up
arse.
his arse.
Yeah, get that lower body like John McGinn, and then we'll be on to a winner. Our midfield will be loving it.
Yeah.
I
But,
did enjoy when the Danish manager went mental and McKinn just
Yeah, he was
flattened
raging.
one of the guys.
but back to what I was saying. So that's the last game of the year. So obviously there'll be the Scottish International Player of the Year will be announced at some point, I'd imagine. I
John.
I think it only goes to one man, Tony Ross.
I
Tony Ralston.
genuinely don't have a clue who I would pick.
John McGinn.
Also big Tony for me.
I've seen quite a few shouts for Tierney.
I love Kieran Tierney at Scotland top. I love Kieran Tierney at every top. But
Yeah,
I suppose it depends because you'll always sort of go towards an attacking player and someone that contributes goals.
true.
But everyone in that team, you know what? Just give it to all of them. Just anyone that's got a cap this year, just give it to them. They all deserve it.
congratulations to the Player of the Year, Jacob Brown, on your 10
Well
minutes
done.
What a
stint.
performance.
Congratulations. No, did we mention the last chance that we got when where Adams headers it back across the box?
Oh, we didn't know. The one where I'm
Stuart
still
Armstrong
confused why.
I did try and mention it when folks said about there was a couple of good blocks in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's true.
that was there wasn't really much more that Armstrong could do with a volley. He just had to go for
Yeah,
get on target and Care or however you pronounce his
Yeah.
name. the Denmark captain just makes
An
an
amazing
unbelievable block. It didn't really mean anything at that point because the game was won. Yeah, just it would have been nice to be able to celebrate another goal, wouldn't it?
Although I don't know, for some reason, I don't know whether you've heard the comment. Well, obviously you've watched it on TV, but Alan McCoy started shouting "Oh no" before Armstrong hit the ball. Was he? I
He
don't
knew.
understand.
You knew.
Yeah,
Poor
Oh,
Ali.
no.
What voice he did have last night's probably gone.
It's gone. He's a national hero.
Yeah, he did sound very very ropey
Yeah.
in the commentary booth from kickoff really.
Still better than the other commentators that would have got though.
If there's anyone out there
No.
who doesn't like an Alan McCoy's co-commentary, then they're just lying to themselves.
I like it, yeah, especially when we score.
Yeah,
It gets me going.
see when we score
he
late.
just sort of
but-
screams. He screams and you're like, oh yes.
Yeah,
But what's that guy, that wee English guy on TikTok calls all the Scottish commentators funny commentators getting so excited when Scotland score. I think that's hilarious.
yeah. Yes. Just wants to
Glad everyone
shout
else
out.
did as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was? Yeah, Scott was saying, what the fuck?
You okay?
Craig was saying it's the last Scotland game till next year. So it was the first international break March then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank fuck. I mean, I like watching Scotland playing, but holy fuck, does it get boring? See, went from like the last weekend of league games, like through to the first international. It's so boring. And then after the last international to the next league games or like club games, it just
See, I don't mind international breaks. It usually just breaks up the shit.
Yeah, I mean, for a while there, for the last like year and a half, it's really saved me from being a Celtic fan. Although I
I've
kind of want
hated
to
it.
see Rangers fall apart. So
Yeah.
need a
I
bit
know.
of football.
I mean, apparently, so to digress ever so slightly, apparently, Duo was back in Glasgow today.
I was
You
really
mean
hoping you would get Frank de
I thought
Boer.
I thought he went to London.
He
mean
didn't
I
go
was
to London, but he came. He was in a chartered flight to Glasgow today.
so you mean
I
they're
was
not going to
really,
continue with their 4-man
really
coaching
hoping for
team?
Frank de Boer after his Crystal Palace job.
Yeah, he did really well there.
Back to Scotland because
It's all about the Scotland.
it's all about Scotland.
That is all.
I think what's his face? Forgot his name. Callum McGregor. And I liked watching him last night. He sort of goes a bit unnoticed
It was very good.
in
Yeah.
a Scotland shirt sometimes, but
I think
he just did really well, sort of like taking the ball and then distributing again. Him and Billy Gilmore
they
together in midfield.
They just
Lot
Although they are very similar sort of players, I think they were really good
They're all
together.
similar, but they also do all offer ever so slightly different things. Although
Yeah,
very
they were both
minuscule.
very good.
And actually, Callum McGregor's probably an example for Billy Gilmore of how he doesn't need to get an arse like John McGinn.
But how he actually has to get game time.
He has to get.
Well,
Yeah,
he doesn't. He doesn't need to get
Callum
game time.
McGregor can tell him a bit about game time.
What's that?
Billy Gilmore could not play a single minute until March, and he'd still walk into the team. That's the thing.
He would.
He's just
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
would-
He's the
I'd
first
just-
player in the
I'd-
team sheet. We're one of the
I'd just be worried about it. I'd be worried about someone not having full
Yeah, like it is
sort of
just
match
a
fitness.
concern.
I mean,
I don't get how Daniel Lord
Farquhar.
Farquhar, I can't remember his name, how he watched Billy Gilmore playing in the Scotland top and didn't think, oh, I could chuck this guy into my squad.
does
But
he-
why did they take him on loan?
That's what I don't get. Unless he's an absolute dick in training.
I know he did.
The only thing I can think is, yeah, like Matt said, if he's an absolute dick in training, or if it's not management level, like see if it's like
Maybe he's pumped
I
his
bet Delia Smith sat there and went, see that fucking Billy Gilmore, don't you dare play him. Don't you dare play him.
He did. Apparently, the Norwich manager did say that he wanted to only play the players that he actually had
Yeah,
brought
we're
in.
not
He
here to
didn't want to
develop
play.
players.
He
or
didn't
whatever.
want to play loan players unless he really had to.
Well, then why take them?
I'd take them, yeah.
As I say, at that point, just use youth players. Well, not youth players, but reserve players, like squad
Yeah.
rotation.
I guess maybe it wasn't his decision to sign them.
Yeah, maybe
That-
not.
Maybe that. I
You
don't know.
think
Or
should
do you reckon Big Delia signed him and then was like, you know what, don't play him.
Or maybe he signed him and then Daniel Farker's like, nah, I'm not going to play him. I'd rather play other
Strange.
players.
Either way,
Well,
I'm
I mean-
sorry, I'm not leaving her alone. It's her fault. Stupid fucking bitch.
Norwich need all the help they can get. I don't know what the hell was going through Mr. Farker's head when he was not playing him and playing, Ken McLean, who all right is an okay player, but he's nowhere near the class of Billy Gilmour.
he is the mayor.
Well,
Though.
it just shows
that's
that
what I maybe
I
it's
shit
because he
myself
is the
when
mayor.
He is
We
the
had to play.
mayor.
I shit
The
myself
mayor
when
won.
Kenny McLean comes on the pitch for Scotland.
No, see, I don't. I feel like Kenny McLean.
He's capable, but he just worries me.
I like Kenny McLean,
not-
but
he's
he's
not-
not a starter.
Yeah, he's not the best player, but he's a
He's
good
a
performer.
worker.
He was decent
Sorry.
last time when he came on. He was doing the running. Yeah, exactly. Puts in the yards.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking about players that were decent last night, I completely forgot to that Ferg does have to apologise for his Stephen O'Donnell slander before the game.
Well, no, I just said that I'd rather not start Stephen O'Donnell.
But he was always going to start Stephen O'Donnell. He couldn't
always
call
just-
up Ralston and then play Ralston over a player that he called up to the actual first team.
Nah, you can,
Do that though.
because Big Tony's a bricklayer, and he's got that grit and determination. He came off site because he had perfect bricklaying conditions, and he came off site for the Scotland squad.
That's a true
And he
story, by the way.
You deprived that man of hundreds of pounds.
They laughed in Neymar's face.
He did laugh in Neymar's face. And then his career
Right, he was only
dipped
about
a bit.
12 at that point. Come on, leave that out. Come on.
That's all we know.
Matured.
Or like one game against PSG like 4 years ago.
But he got absolutely battered. But he
Exactly.
laughed in Neymar's
We
face.
got absolutely shafted.
To be fair, Neymar deserved someone laughing in his face that night.
He did.
That Big Tony has matured significantly over the off season in the summer, and
Yeah. Still only 22, another good contender for the squad.
he's actually
23 now, yeah.
That's worth
Um,
it, buddy.
But yeah, no, it does. It's surprising how young he is. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
like considering it just feels like he's been about for about 20 years already.
We do have a good few young players in there. With the squad depth and all that, so
And as long as they're getting decent minutes at decent clubs, then I'll be happy. But it was a successful international break for Scotland. Yeah, two wins.
we could go on
seeded-
for hours about Scotland, to be fair. I know I could. I do.
seeded in the playoffs. We'll get a home draw, and the draw's made next Friday.
Week
is
and
it?
Friday, yep. Home draw, and could get a home final as well. With a flip of the coin.
There's some tough teams though in the draw. To be fair,
Two teams is all I'd say that I would really say that would struggle against. It's Portugal and Italy.
Poland are in the draw, aren't they?
Poland are nothing special.
Paul, yeah,
Yeah,
but-
but they do have one of the best players in the world.
Nothing special.
yeah, but take him out and they're bang average.
Well, they've still got another one of the best players. They've got Matty Cash.
That's true.
Nothing special.
Right, are we doing predictions? We got predictions to do.
Yes, well, Craig's
Go on.
made them. I don't have them, so
Okay, so what's the
Uh,
first?
Okay, I'll read them out. 1 minute. We've got, obviously, we are moving into the League Cup semi-finals next weekend. Rangers are going in there without a manager, so
I'm
You'll,
without a
you'll find we
The
have a
currently the-
caretaker of 27 different men that can take.
no, it's actually four.
It feels like
Um,
27.
one of them's a
Jermaine
former Air
Defoe, but
player,
he's
so
probably on TV duty at the weekend, so he won't be there.
Yeah.
Um,
former Air
Who's
player
that other
Brian
guy?
Gilmore.
Yep.
The guy that runs the
And-
lottery.
yeah, the guy
It's
that
just
does
the
Rangers
same
lottery.
name.
He
He doesn't actually run the lottery.
What's his name?
Colin, was it?
Colin Stewart.
There we go. I was about to say Colin Jackson for some reason.
I don't know why. I was going to say Lambie. I don't know why that came to my head. But
And then evidently the fourth guy is not important because no one can remember.
David
I
McCallum.
don't, thank you. Didn't know his name.
So yeah, we're going to the first game, which is Celtic versus St Johnstone in the Cup semi-final. Oh yeah, I forgot that I'd go first, don't I?
Nice one, dickhead.
He's not used to that. He's not used to actually taking the lead on these.
I can't see. I know that St Johnstone will be going for the retaining the cup, but I feel like Celtic are just too strong right now, so it's going to be a 3-0 victory.
Well, Saturday brings an eternal hope for St Johnstone. Can they win? Can they not? I don't think they can. I think Celtic and Angeball are too strong for the St Johnstone's players, and I'm going to predict Angeball 2, St Johnston Ball 0.
St Johnston Ball.
Yep.
You
Not
forgot the
Not
manager's name,
No,
Bill.
I'm just,
not
I
Davidson
just,
Ball.
no.
Well, I'm gonna controversially say 1-0 to St Johnson.
Wonder
Oh,
why.
sure. I wonder why he'd say that.
Oh, it's just a good cup team.
Yeah,
Yeah, they are.
obviously
Everyone likes
Stuart
mentioning it. How
I
good a
think
cup
has
team they
looked
are.
at the form going into this game and obviously seen that St Johnstone are the favourites going in form.
Yeah, I think
Form's
4-0.
irrelevant in a cup game.
4-0 Celtic.
As I say, was double checking to who there, Matt.
No pissing about.
Yeah, 8-0 to Celtic.
You know,
Fair.
you know what?
I've
It's
got
more
the
realistic
spreadsheet.
than yours.
That is, yeah.
You
it's
say
more
that,
likely to
but
happen than
I
Nelson
can't wait for
No,
next Tuesday's podcast.
I've got the spreadsheet up now, so
That's
I'll
good.
take that uncomfortable
I was
part off
I was
Craig.
yeah.
He didn't like the responsibility. I know
No.
what you mean. Rangers, Hibs, managerless Rangers.
Managerless Rangers against absolutely dreadful Hibs right now. This is only going one way. It's going to be a 0-0.
Well, I mean, with these two teams, it's like watching two drunk folk fight outside a kebab shop at 3 in the morning.
It's a bit disrespectful for the team that's top of the league.
Well,
Like
no,
4
if you
points.
think about it, you've got managerless Rangers being managed by Ford folk they've dragged in outside Ibrox,
I
and
thought you said a
Good-
Ford Focus.
Good old
well.
Jermaine Defoe. What
and
played
you've
the
got
Premier?
Hibs,
Man's down in England doing TV. Come
and you've
on.
got
Jermaine
Hibs who are utterly hopeless. Rangers' defence isn't as good as people think they were, and not as good as last season. Hibs can't defend, period, because they've got a hammer throw at centre back. So I'm going to go score draw 1-1. I'm just going to slander every team this week on this prediction list.
Well, apparently neither team can defend, but the attacks of the other teams are only scored 1 goal each.
Yep.
Yeah, the attacks aren't very good either.
Right, Jer, come on, say it 9-0
No,
Rangers or something.
I'm gonna say 2-1 Rangers.
Yeah, come on, Jay, you're meant to do realistic.
Yeah, come on, that's not even realistic, bro.
I'm going to go to 2-0 Rangers. I still think Hibs are too bad.
Hibs are fucking shocking, but
They are pretty bad.
it just depends, like, because really Rangers would have to get in their new manager tomorrow for him to really sort of actually have much of an impact.
Well, according to
Oh well, no, they're a Sunday game, aren't they? So he could have till Thursday. Really,
according
Other than
to Glasgow Live, Gio is away back to Amsterdam and is awaiting to be offered a contract or not.
that. Well, 1-0 to Hibs then, because I
See-
don't see them having a manager in time.
Hibs have only had the 4 losses in a row, to be fair, so they're right in form.
Yeah, they need to turn it around against a team that's
Oh,
in
that's
decline.
okay.
So,
Yeah. You know, so between the two international breaks, they did just lose 3 games.
but
Maybe
come
that's
on.
international break to turn it around.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. They had a player called up to the national team. I love it. Okay.
2.
Exactly. There you go. Next up, league duty for Dundee United and Aberdeen. Dundee United, obviously the home team. Gregor, tell us.
You know, Aberdeen looked like they were going to start playing well again, and then they get pumped 2-0 off Motherwell. So I don't know. I think Dundee United might win this one because they're not doing too bad. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Dundee United win.
Well, I think Aberdeen are going to turn it around. I think there's a lot of pressure being put on Aberdeen, and I think the boys will be able to handle it. I'm going to go 2-1 Aberdeen.
I'm going to hit it with a classic score draw, 1-1.
I'm going to agree with you. I think 1 each.
Fuck me. Nah, I think Aberdeen come away 1-0 winners here. Next up, Kelly, host or broth?
And that's going to be a Dick Campbell masterclass if I've ever seen one before, with a 1 each draw.
I agree with Craig, 1 each.
Where are you going?
I was yawning. I also was tabbed out as well.
Staring into the camera.
trying
um,
to steer us down.
4-0 Kelly. Alright, it's gonna be absolute doing.
I'm going to go 2-0, Kelly.
Took me a long time to say that.
Just 2-1 Kelly. Don't know. Next up, Partick at home to lowercase Hamilton.
Yeah, uppercase
You
Hamilton
don't
are
deserve capital there.
too bad to me. And it's just got like a 6-0 Partick written all over it.
Yeah. Pick a number.
Yeah, I think the number I'm going to go for is half of 6. 3.
I think
Thanks for clarifying that. I wasn't
Hamilton
sure.
are better defending than us, probably,
I
actually.
think 1-0. Nah, to Partick.
I'd say Hamilton's defence is about on par with Ayers' defence, so I'm going to say 4-0.
I really was. I was going to buck the trend here, but I can't. I can't risk dropping any more points here. So, fuck it. 5-0 Partick. There we go. Airdrie are at home and they host Cove Rangers.
It's going to be a tough game. And I'm going to go for a 2-all draw.
I'm going to go for score draw 4-4.
Tell you what, that was intense. I'm gonna go score draw 1-1.
The 8-goal thriller in Airdrie.
Nah, I think in a tight game, Airdrie win 2-1.
I don't care about Diddy League
Well,
1 League
if
2.
if anyone was paying attention to the spreadsheet there, I did put in 1-1 before anyone put any other score, and everyone else has went for a score draw
Not
apart
me.
from Matt. So I'm going score draw 1 each. Yeah. Next up, Falkirk host Montrose.
A 2-0 Montrose victory, because fuck Falkirk.
I'm going to go for score draw 2-2.
Falkirk
He's got far too many score draws this week.
Falkirk to win 1-0.
I'm going to go 2-0 Falkirk.
I'm going to go 2-1 Falkirk. And finally, your certainty of the week. Kelty Hearts take on Stenhousemuir.
See, you say your certainty of the week, Fred, but Stenhouse we're on a 5-game win streak, so.
Great.
And for that, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Stenhousemuir victory. Kelty Hearts will lose their first game of the season.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know what my colleague here has been drinking or smoking
He's sniffing glue,
to
obviously.
determine that estimation. This is going to be an absolute drubbing. Absolute drubbing. I'm going to go for Kelty Hearts.
2-0.
No, I'm going to go for Kelty Hearts 5, Stenhousemuir 1.
I'm gonna say Stenhousemuir are gonna win 2-1.
At least some of
No.
them are man with sense.
Kelty Heart's going to win 2-0.
It makes me anxious. Craig said somebody was saying, so I'm just changing mine.
I made the mistake last week of saying 5-0 Kelty Hearts, so I'm only going to say 3-0 Kelty Hearts this week.
Yeah.
And that rounds it all up. Craig and Billy. Fuck me. Craig and you're the only stupid boys in that last game. But,
Well, I'll be sending Nigel Farage meme into the chat after the Stenhousemuir win. You all laughed at me.
okay.
Mhm.
You
That
won't,
sounds really
because
good. I'm
It's
really
not.
looking forward to
It's
laughing
not.
at
No,
that.
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Um,
I've also realised during this, I'm going to miss the semi-final on Saturday. I've made other plans, and
Whoa.
I will not be able. I'll not catch it. It's a shame.
I thought you were going to say the big news, such as the fact that you're now bottom of the leaderboard and Matt is above you.
No, that's
Really?
that's not news.
Matt hadn't done it for like half of it.
It's not news.
I mean, we won't
It's
mention
not
the fact
news.
that Matt's only 3
We'd
points
esta-
behind
we-
me, but
We've established I'm just not good at the prediction.
you're 3 points behind me, but you are 12 points clear of Ferg, Matt.
Jerry.
We've established I'm just not good at the predictions. Okay.
Hey, Wales are giving this a go.
They are.
Okay. Yeah, we're still recording, Matt. You don't.
I know, but
He's giving it. He's telling them
To
what
be
it
fair, that's
is.
context
Yeah,
to when
true.
we've recorded the podcast.
as if anyone wants to know, it's
That's
9:04
true.
p.m.
It is currently the 61st minute in the Wales game. That's
It's actually the
It's actually the
62nd minute.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
60
Just clock out.
First
minute then.
63rd minute, technically. Anyway,
Go.
I've also noticed that I've said two pronunciation of Tony Ralston's name tonight. I've said the fucking Tory version and the fucking
Tony Ralston.
normal version. So, yeah, so we'll move on. Say bye-bye, Billy.
Bye, everybody.
What a cunt. Craig, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Matt.
Toodles.
Toodles, yeah. Jure. Speech.
Goodbye and God bless.
God bless.
Yeah, well, he fucked it. Like, usually Drew does a big speech, so I'll do it. If you've stuck around this long, thank you for listening, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it.
Oh no,
What
God
a
bless.
fans.
I'll see you later. Good night and God bless everyone.